Mahlatse, Pillay, Leonhard. We've got Nkanyo, Dlangamandla. Taron, Victoria. Okay, guys, before I can start the lesson, let's make sure that we abide and obey all the rules of the class that you know, I believe, because I don't have to remind you then. Morning, goodbye, everyone. So I believe everyone has enjoyed the weekend, guys. Then let's stick to the rules and then don't post anything that is not related to the lesson. So anything that is not relevant to what we're doing today, please make sure that you don't post that. You don't chat with your friends. Then please let's obey all the class rules. Then before I can start, like I said last week, okay, I'm just about to start. Good morning, Kamkhelo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Victoria, Zain. So I see there are many of you this week. Thank you so much, guys. So last week we did a lot of theory. Like I said, this week, I say, are we doing theory or practical? No, Leonhead is practical today. But I'm just going to introduce the basics of this application that I'm going to talk about today. So, because remember, even if you are a driver, but you must start somewhere else before, because the most important thing, road sign rules, guys. Then you need to start first by doing what your learner license before you can have the driver's license. Therefore, the practicals comes after. So now I'm going to introduce more of the basic concept of the application, because last week we spoke about the hardwares, all the types of the hardwares like input, the processing, the output, and the storage and the communication device. We know all about this now. So then from there we spoke about the software. Then in general, we know what is a software. Then different types or the categories of the software. And we spoke about system software and the application software, then different types of the application softwares. Then that's what we did last week. So today, like we know, we are going to do one of the application programs. Can someone just remind me what is an application software, if you still remember? So can someone please, only for 2 minutes, guys, let's share on the broadcast, no, on the chat group, please, very quick, what you still remember about the application program, because I'm just about to introduce one of the application programs that we are going to use. Yes, please, let's share. While I'm still waiting for your response, let me just start with the objective of the lesson for today. At the end of the lesson, I'm expecting you to know the following. You must understand the basic skills and the core concept of the spreadsheet. So that means the spreadsheet is an application program that we are going to use today. Then also you must be able to describe the basics of spreadsheets, including the rows and columns and cells and sheets and workbooks. And also you must be able to use what the cell references and the cell range. That's what you're going to cover today on this practical. A set of programs that work together. No, Leonhead, how does it work together? Because I want you to be more specific exactly. So come on, hello. Please, let us be very careful when we read or try to interpret the question. Because I ask you, can you please just define to me what is an application program or application software? Yeah. So if you are saying set of programs that work together, that means you're not specific, sir. I wouldn't consider this because set of programs, because here I'm specific. I'm talking about an application program. So, but if you are saying the programs, you are talking about the softwares here. So you need to tell, yes, Kamahelo, I understand application software consists of programs that allow the user to use device in meaningful way. That's correct, Lana, yes. Because like I said, you need to be more specific. Like this one, application program consists of programs that allows a user to use the device in a meaningful way. That means, like I said, is a task-specific program. Leonhead, let us be more specific, guys. A set of programs that work together. How does it work together? So remember that if you are saying those programs, but now here, how Lana has explained this, say application program consists of programs that allows user to use device in a meaningful way. That means, yes, I agree with this one because it's task specific. Because if you are doing a certain job, that means you are doing it in a meaningful way. That is a task specific program. So like today, we are going to talk about Microsoft Excel. It's one of the Office suite bundles. So, but now we need to know how does this, we need to understand the basic concept about it. Like I said, before you drive a car, the road sign rules are very much more important. Because even if you can be in control of the car, but if you don't understand the road traffic sign rules, that becomes a problem. So because you may affect or hinder those that are also using the roads, you understand, because they will be compliant of the rules. So therefore, whenever then we use any application, we need to understand the basic skills and the core concept of which those they form the rules of how the application can be used. Okay, like I said, I'm going to cover this. What you see, the spreadsheet, that's another name that we refer to our Microsoft Excel, or you can call it a workbook. So those are the interchangeable names that you can refer to your program. So, if I'm talking about the workbook, then I'm talking about the Microsoft Excel file. Then I can talk about the spreadsheet. Then I'm still talking about the same thing. Like I said, how does this program work? For this program is meant for working with the numbers. We can do the data analysis. Like for example, what you see here, we've got a bar graph here. And this bar graph, then we've got the legend is for the company Moho Car Sales. That means here we've got the pricing, the prices of the sales that were made. And then here are the month through which car sales were made. Like for example, you see we've got say car sale in January, February, and March and April. So when you look at here, so the graph, that's the relationship between these two entities, the price and the sales that were made in this month, understand? So if you check here, the price, the many sales were made in April. So because you see here is 3 million car sales that were sold. But in between that, in that month, March, the price is in between 3 million and 2 million. And then strictly in February, then the sale made were 2 million. Then below 2 million. So, but as you see here, the trend of the sales is going up. They started so low here, then they go up, then it's going up. That's how we can analyze the data here. That means our sales are now going up, are not declining. That means you are having more sales consecutively on the different months. So that's how we can use the program to do what our data analysis here. Okay. Guys, okay, like I said, this application is a task specific program. Then Dino is saying up by 500,000. So what do you mean, Dino? Okay, this is a data analysis software, guys. Like I said, now I'm going to explain what is a spreadsheet. Like I said, you can call it a workbook, a spreadsheet, an Excel. A spreadsheet is an application to organize and manipulate numbers. Like when we manipulate the numbers, like we have seen the amount of sales that were made in consecutive months that we have seen on the graph, then it was summarized. It was just a summary of the data collected. Victoria J, you have raised your hands. Please send your question on the group chat, please. Like what you see here, spreadsheet is an application, like is a task specific program that can organize and manipulate numbers. And then spreadsheets are used for accounting, sales and financial management and budget, track expenditures, learner school marks and invoice and making graphs. Like we have seen the graph, that was just a summary of the results of the data collected in those consecutive months about the sales that were made in those months, understand? And then we deal with the numbers at the end of the day. So we have to make a decision. The spreadsheet, this is an application. It just looks like this. We've got the columns and the rows here. And then this part here, fx, that means your function. So a function is a predefined within this application. They are built in. I'll show you how does, because you can enter formula manually, except the function then is already built within this application. You just show the cell references and apply your function. I'll show you how does this applies at a later stage. So these are the components on your spreadsheet. Now, let's talk about the advantages of using this application, Microsoft Excel, or the spreadsheet or the worksheet. That's how they call it. You can present your data in a graph like you have seen. That was a summary of the sales. Also, you can be able to integrate in Word and PowerPoint and Access. Okay, the same information that we have, then we can be able to create our graphs or whatever, anything embedded in any one of the applications here. So I'm going to share this second screen showing you how to embed this. This is Microsoft Word document that is open. Like they said, you can use it as an integrated program. So I'm going to integrate this, but the main document here, since we check, we've got Microsoft Word 1. That's the name of the document here. So within this, we can also put our data analysis in this document. But now, remember, the task-specific program that will allow us to do that is what Microsoft Excel. So then we know Excel can help us with the data analysis, working with the numbers and what. So let's check. Then now I go to object. That's a tab. Like we've got a tab, file, home, insert. All these are the ribbons below here. Then we've got the group text. Like I'm going to talk about that at later stage. Then I believe some of the things we did them from Microsoft Word, they still have the same functionalities. Then now I'm just about to choose the program. Like I said, remember, why do I choose Microsoft Excel 97 to 2003? Because I said, if it happens sometimes, maybe on my machine right now, I'm using this version, then I need to open it on the newer version so that this can be able to record. That's compatibility. Then for the compatibility sake, then I have to use this document as 97 so that I can be able to open it on the older version or the newer one. So then I'm saying, okay, this is my application. This is what you'll see. Then let's check here now. But the main document is what? Microsoft Word Excel. So I'm trying to integrate Excel in Word. So, but now let's check the tabs here. So the tab here is for Microsoft Excel. But if I just double click here, then let's check. Look, I'm now back into Microsoft Word. You see? Then, but now if I want to edit the document, then I have to double click on it again. So let me just say, for example, then like you see here, I've got the formula of which I don't have this function in Microsoft Word. That is why then it only appear when I double click here. So let's say item number 1, the quantity of the item, then quantity I bought, the price per quantity, then I want the total of each, total of all. And let's say, for example, I've got a bread here. You bought bread, that's bread, then sugar, okay, that's milk, okay, and then say coffee, okay. Let's say here I've got 2 quantity of bread. This is 3 here, this is 4, then let me just say 6 here. Now per price here, let me just assume my price is 60 bucks, then here is 50, then it's 30 here, this is price. Then also here is what, let's say 25 here, okay? Now, for me to know the total price of this, because I know each per each quantity, then is how much is 60 rand. Then I'm going to establish the formula now, or the function. Let me just use the function now. So we know the product of the two here, that means that's multiplication of. Then I'll start typing the word product, or you can just simple come to the formulas. Okay, these are our formulas. And then I've got these more functions. You see, I'm coming to the functions. Then if you can't see that function, we know we want the function product. Then you just type in the function product. Let's check when we go to the function. No. Let me just say, let me just put it in the product. I'm searching it now. You see, I've got the product here. So now I'm gonna say the product of what? The cell reference. I'm referencing the cell. The numbers here is 1, 2. B2 at this value multiply this value. So that's what you see there. So I'll say equals to, or you can say equals to product of, you choose your cells, this one and this, then you will enter. So that means multiplication of this. And also we can use what? The formula, then it just say the cell references B3 now, because I'm on B3, plus I just do it manual, C3, then I enter, you see. Then we can use this as autofill. Then you'll have this whenever then you click here, then you see I've got this information now. That's how to integrate, because I've got these results in Microsoft Word, but now I was using what? Excel in Words. That's how I'm going back to the previous slide again. We spoke about the integration, can be integrated in Words and PowerPoint, so forth. The same way I did, then that's how you can integrate this. And also, your spreadsheet or Excel can keep your confidential data hidden in. Also, you can log some data so that people cannot be able to change it. No one can do any changes on it. So these are the advantages of this application. There's hundreds of functions to choose from. Like we have seen, I went to the functions, then you have seen we've got mathematics, we've got the statistics. Can I show you again? Then I'm going back to the functions. I'm going to double click here because this one is an integrated. Then when you come to the formulas, so when they are talking about the hundreds of the functions, these are the functions here. These are the auto sum. So then under this, we've got these functions and then more functions. Then we've got financial mathematics functions. We've got the logical functions. We've got the text where we'll be dealing with the text. We add text together, then you are dealing with the data. Then the lookup and the references, and maths and trigonometry, and more functions. We've got statistical function, engineering, the cubes and information, and compatibilities, and the web functions. All these are the functions, guys. That's what they are saying about it has hundreds of functions to choose from, depending on what is it that you want to analyze. Like this is very important, guys. Some people, when they had to do the data analysis, more especially, I just want to put emphasis on our practical assessment task. So the very same skill that we have learned here, then we should be able to apply that, guys. We don't do these things out of our head. Then we need to apply the functions and the formulas when we do the data analysis for phase 2. So yeah, no. Tyrone, you said here sum B2 plus C2, but remember, bracket must be there. So if there's no set of parentheses, that becomes no function. Like what I see here, you said equals to sum B2 plus C2. No, that will be incorrect. Unless otherwise you can just only say equals to B2 plus C2. That will be correct. That becomes a formula. But now if you want to use it as a function, you call the name of the function followed by the set of the parentheses. That is a rule. Like I said, you need to understand the rules. So then you have to say Can I go back to it again and show you something? I'm gonna do it practically. Say for example, I remove these brackets like this. You see, if I'm removing the brackets, let's check. Then we are saying like what you did, I'm going to do that. Let's do this and say let's enter. Wait, I enter. You see, immediately when you enter like this, you'll get an error. So maybe you see that I've got an error right now here. It's because of not following what the proper procedure of, you see, this is the results of what you did. But immediately, then when you do this function, it must be followed by what? Sets of parentheses. By default, it says select number 1, number 2 of what you want to, even up to number 3. So you see this one, it shows you it continues. Then I can say the product of this and this, and which again, let me just say this one again. Then I enter. You see, when I enter, then I'll get this because it becomes what? The product of this B2 by C2 by B3. You see, so that's what you must do all the time. When you use the function, remember that the name of the function must be followed by what? The set of the parentheses. Because we've seen that when I was not using this, including this set of the parentheses, doing it like the way you did, you'll have an error, but we'll talk about the errors at later stage, so that you must understand also the description of each error, what causes that, so that in future you may be able to fix that. Thank you. Let me just go back to the original slide again. And then I'm passing to the next slide. Advantage of the spreadsheet as continuous. We can change data in the spreadsheet. The results will automatically change if we use other package. It's called what? Automatic recalculation. Very powerful feature here. You can change the number formatting to data, currency, whatever. Everything will change throughout. Can I show you that? And that auto calculation feature. Say for example, here now I'm saying this is 1 here. I'm entering 1. Let's check. Already we know it's reference here. That is why we said a cell reference, you see, is reducing that to 1. But now let's say by 1 again, I'll get that 60 because it's 60 multiply 1 multiply by 1 here, you see. So even if I'm saying, because all the results here will change depending on what the input is here. Even if I'm saying 160 here, look, my results. But if I'm saying 2, look, everything, it changes automatically. So that's what is Mark Wilson. Everything, it changes, guys, as you can see here. So that's what they mean about that feature of what? Auto recalculations. Is a very powerful feature. Then we have seen that is one of the advantages for using this. You can change the number formatting to date, currency, and whatsoever. So now I've got an activity before we can proceed again that I would like us to tackle or just check on it. It's on the, okay, I'll just share the link again for, let me just do this now. I'm sharing the link for the books, guys. Remember, we've got practical books and then we've got theory books as well. So I want to share practical book here. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, there we are. Just share. Yeah, you'll get this book on that link I've shared. Like I said, remember last week I shared theory book. Bukosi, I see your hand is up. Then you can write whatever, any question that you want to ask me on the group chat, please. Like you'll see here, I've got all the books and the data file is also shared on the same direct. I've got 3 directives shared here. So the first one is for the data file. The second one is for both theory and the practical book for those who don't have the theory books. For those who were on class last week, I believe everyone has the book. So now this is activity. Let me just go to the activity and show you. It's just a very simple activity. Okay, I have to open the book first. Mhm. Just go back here. Just open the book. Practical. Okay. Like I said, you go straight to page. What page was it? Page 141. So maybe you see my book now is open. So then what you do, you just go straight for 141. Then enter.
Pomolo,
Yes, ma'am.
the book isn't open. We can still only see your files on the screen.
It's not open the book.
No.
Okay, let me just do this. I'm sharing it again. Can you see it now?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So these are the activities that I want you to do. Like every rectangle in your workbook is called, then you'll have to fill in, so you match column B with column A here. So this is the activity that you have to do on the book. Like an example of how a spreadsheet can be used, like you see here, like I said, you can refer to the spreadsheet file as a workbook, and then they call it a spreadsheet, or is an Excel. Text in a cell is always aligned to, then you'll have to fill in, uh, match the column B with column A. So this is what you have to do here for the activity that I have for today. So I believe then you'll go through this after. Then now can I just proceed? These are the basics. Then you need to understand these guys. It's very important. So like the group of cell that runs vertically called, then spreadsheet page are called, and I'm still going to talk more about that because I'm just going to spreadsheet page are called, cells address appear in there. When you select the group of cells is called, you understand? So let me just continue. I'm going back to the slide again. So let's continue. This is a workspace. This is what you get on your spreadsheet or your workbook when you're still working on it. But now, first look, let's check our workspace here. We've got the rows and columns, like I stated that earlier. So then you see here what your cursor is in. So like the active cell is called the cell, this one. Now, remember from previously, wait, you can have page one, page two, page three. So, but in this application, how we present our pages, they go like this, and then we call them what? The sheets. Like you see, we've got a sheet one, two, and three. So this is how we add more pages on our workbook. Because remember, we said the whole document, we call it a workbook, but a worksheet is a page that you find on your workbook. So we need to be familiar with all these terms, guys. Like, for example, some people, when they submit on Microsoft uh, Excel, not Excel, yes, they normally used to do the multiple number of the workbooks, so which is it's not necessary. You can just use only one workbook and create multiple worksheets on it so that we can be able to access. Like, I'm just giving you a tip off on your pet. Like, for example, those that will be doing data analysis on the, say, for example, your questionnaire was on the Google form. When you export that into Excel, then I need to see the original one with the timestamp here. The second one will be the other one that will have edited, then did your data analysis, and then you show me the graphs also as a summary of your data that is being analyzed here. So that's how we can just use only one. So now let's talk about the rows and columns. The workspace consists out of what? Columns and rows. That now we know that is a workspace. What do we see here? There are about million 445,76 rows and then 16,385 columns. To make the columns and row wider, you can just right click on the gray numbers and or let and track bigger. So that's how you can do it. And then also a cell, like I said, is the block or the individual cell in your worksheet where you are currently working. So like for example, can I go back again to my Word document that like for example here, just a minute while it's still opening. Okay, just a minute. I believe now it's okay. Okay, say for example, this is a cell. Like you see, my cursor is, this is active cell right now. So like these are the cells. This is a cell, active cell. So, okay. And then now that you understand what the cell is, let me just proceed to the worksheet now. Is a sheet that you are currently working on. Like I said, is a page. The worksheet is a page, is the one that you are currently working at now. Like for example, if I can go to that document again, it's like I said, but this one, you see how many sheet do I have? Only one. So I'm starting sheet number 2. You can rename them. You just, let me just start it, rename data analysis. Okay, there we are. Then number 2, say graphs, graph, graphs. That's how you can add them. So like you see, the first one, that's why I've got my data like this. The second one, there's nothing. So these are the pages. You just scroll them like this way. So I believe now we understand this far much better than working. Like that's why they're saying working sheet is the sheet that you are currently working on. Like we have seen the one that I was working on. Uh, so you must be very careful about knowing all these important concepts about this application, guys. Because the more you understand, like I said, some people, they tend not to understand theory because remember, a theory is a basic foundation to your practice or your practical. So, like I said, before you can drive a car or have a license, you need to read that theory book called a learner's driver's license. They equip you with what? The road sign rules, then you have to understand them. Thereafter, then whatever that we have awareness and understanding about, now you have to practice that because now you understand when you see the stop sign, then you stop already because that has been told before then. Unlike if you don't know nothing, that becomes a problem. The same applies here, guys. The theory is very important. It's a building block of knowledge. Okay. Now let's talk about the workbook now. A workbook is the whole spreadsheet file. Like I said, it contains all the pages in a file. Like these are the pages now. 1, 2, 3. So you add. You can also delete as well here. Can I go back again to my workbook? If I'm going to delete, I can delete this. Can rename. Can do the copying as well if you want. Like you see here, can protect it as well. Can hide. You see. So you can show, but this one, don't worry. I'm still gonna talk about this at later stage. So like I said, we are going to explore more, but now today we just basically concentrating on the introduction part of the application. So you need to understand all these important applications. So I'm going back to the slide again. So now, since you know what is a workbook, what is a worksheet, then I think you know the workspace. All these are the most important basics of this application. And then can I continue? Apart from there, now we know. Now I'm going to talk about a cell reference. Now we know what is a cell. Like what you see, this value here is a cell. Like it's in cell what? A, that's our column. Our row is goes down like this. So the 2 here, if you reference the 2, you say A1 because A1 contains the value. Then when you go down, it's A2, B1, B2, C1, so on and on. Like these are the letters. Then we've got the numbers here. Like I said, so whenever if I'm saying A1 plus A1, that means I'm saying 100 plus 100. Then I'm going to make the practical of that. Say I'm going to the same workbook that I had. I'm going to the, let me just use, I can just rename this one as wait, okay, create another one, it's fine. I'll just say 100 in here. Okay, it's fine. I know in cell A1 I've got the value 100, but now say I'm creating my own function here. I'm saying A1 plus A1. Again, it's going to give me 200. Why? Because it's taking that number in here twice and add it. So the same applies, like if I can say the product of that, you just change your mathematical operator here. So the same operators that you are using in maths, that's what is happening here. Even if you change that auto recalculation feature, then I'll say 300 here, then I enter here, you see the results also change here. So that's how we can use what the cell references to refer to a certain data in our spreadsheet or our workbook or the worksheet, by the way. So cell reference is when you combine the letter and the number which contain the value. You will say, like I said, now you understand 100 is the cell reference for the number is what? A1. So we know within this A1, then we've got this number. You can just call it on your function. Why use the cell references? Why is it important to use the cell references rather than constant values in cell and formula? Why are you using A1, not 100? Now, when using function, for example, A1 plus A1, the value changed to 200. We have seen that, I did that. When using formula, you can simply say equals to 100 plus 100, then answer will still be the same. If you change the value 100 to 120, the formula used in arrow will not change as well. So, but now with the function, something will change now. Okay, let me just, other than that, since you understand about the cell references, because the most important thing here about this, it was all about the cell references. Say, can I just maybe do the last example on the cell references again before I can proceed to the next? Say, for example, now, okay, I'm saying here, I'm gonna say I've got 2, then the answer is gonna be 4. Why? It's gonna be 2 times 2. Say on this again, I want to say plus what? Say B, no, B2. Okay, I'm saying B2, it's fine. Nothing. On B2 now, since I know I've just referenced this on my, then I enter on 4 times this and check. Just check something. B2. No, not B2. That's B1. I see. That's B1. Let's say B1. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What I can simply do here, I can just put this value here in these cell references. This will change. That will be, say we said A2 multiplied 2, then it's what? 4 plus 5. That becomes 9. Exactly. Doesn't matter. So I can even just reference it here. Say maybe here I put another 2 again. Then I say on the formula minus E2. Okay. Okay, let's check. No, that's not E2. That's okay. On E2, let me just put this 2 again. You see? So that is what's happening there. Now, our final answer here, then it changes because we are referencing what? The cells. So, okay, let me just go back again. So now I believe now we understand about the cell references. Why is it important to use them? Now, let's talk about the cell range. A cell range, okay, can I see if I've got any question or any comment whatsoever? Okay, just a minute. I'm just about to finish now here. Before then, because I've seen someone just wrote something on the chat, but okay, let me just do this. Okay. Sorry. No, we are now in different contexts here. Pixel is about something else here. So when we talk about the pixels, remember, uh, now we are talking about actual, we are talking about the resolution of your output device, like is pixelated, like the pictures. A cell is something in different contexts. No, we cannot use the pixels in here. So, but your question is not relevant to, okay, it's fine. Anyway, are pixels like cells? No, 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 no. Pixels is for the resolution of the your output device, like your monitor. So that's it. So, but now a cell, then remember in context of uh, Excel, then we know a cell, like I said, a cell is what you are working on. Like here we've got the group of cells here. Only one like 27 here is just a single cell. That means what makes the rectangle between this and this here that they gave you what a cell. Then, but now if you highlight the whole of this, like you see here, the whole data has been highlighted here. A cell range, like is a range. Okay, can I see again? 5 minutes left, guys. Okay, so I'm just about to finish. A cell range is a group of adjacent together, no gaps in between. Like what you see here. When you highlight the whole of this, that becomes a range. Together, no gaps in between that you can select by tracking the mouse across like this. Can I show you? So I think this is the last. We don't have the activity for it. I think that's the last. Can I show you now? I'm going to share the last screen about the the range of the cells. Okay, I'm going to share the screen, new screen. I'm going there again. So I'm going back to the first worksheet. Like I said here, from this to here, the whole thing, if I highlight like this, then I'm saying, okay, let me just say the whole of this, I highlight this, I come to the formula, then I'm saying auto what sum. Then I get the sum of this range. That's the range of the numbers. So it doesn't matter. So like you see here, is the sum of what? The range C2 through to C5. Then it takes the values from here to here and add them together. So that becomes what? Your range. So now I believe that now we understand the difference between a range and cell. A range is a group of, okay, related cells adjacent and no gap in between that you can select by tracking across the numbers, like we have seen that. So, okay, let me just say thank you all guys for joining the class for today. So then as we continue tomorrow again with Excel, please don't miss out. Then make sure that you become punctual. Thank you as well again for maintaining the class rule. So bye-bye. See you tomorrow.